So in the last few videos, we covered how Bob Irsay stole the Colts from Baltimore, and then Art Modell stole the Browns from Cleveland, turning them into the Ravens, and how the marching band got mixed up along the way, but we've got one more part of the story to cover. By 1976, the NFL had 28 teams. And in the 1993 offseason, the NFL owners were having a meeting to decide which two cities would get expansion franchises to finally increase the league to 30 teams. These expansion franchises would begin play in the 1995 season. And Baltimore had put together one of the strongest offers to the NFL to get an expansion franchise. And Commissioner Paul Tagliabue had previously told the city of Baltimore that he would try to get NFL football back in the city. Now, before we go further into the story, it may be important to note that Commissioner Tagliabue had spent most of his adult life practicing law in Washington, D.C., living in Chevy Chase, Maryland, which is firmly in the D.C. fandom part of Maryland. Back to the 1993 owners meeting. It was decided the 29th NFL franchise would be the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, with only one city left, there were only two contenders, Jacksonville and Baltimore. St. Louis had been in the running, but dropped out just before the owners' meeting, and they would get the Rams from Los Angeles in 1995 anyways. Baltimore's offer was enticing. Baltimore had a pre-established NFL fan base, a rich football history, and fairly concrete plans for a new downtown stadium. Whereas Jacksonville had a smaller metro area than Baltimore, and they were in the Deep South, which is firmly college football country, plus they were in a state that already had two NFL franchises. And yes, North Florida is definitely part of the Deep South. So Baltimore's the obvious choice, right? Well, not if you ask Washington owner Jack Kent Cooke. See, Cooke had spent the last 9 years without Baltimore having a team, trying to expand his team's fandom into Baltimore. According to the Washington Post, Cooke worked tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that the other owners would vote against Baltimore no matter what. How did he do this? Well, Cooke proposed/threatened to move the Skins out of D.C., which he had been trying to do for a while anyways, but move them specifically to Laurel, Maryland, which is almost exactly halfway between D.C. and Baltimore. This was more than enough to persuade the other 27 owners that Baltimore was not suitable for a new NFL franchise and that Jack Kent Cooke was not a guy worth pissing off. Jacksonville would get the 30th and final expansion franchise. And Commissioner Tagliabue told the dismayed and backstabbed city of Baltimore that they should build a museum rather than building a new stadium. But Cooke was only able to keep football out of Baltimore for 1 year, ultimately. His plans completely failed because, as we know, Art Modell moved the Browns to Baltimore in '96 to become the Baltimore Ravens. Cooke did get his dying wish, though, and in 1997, Washington did move from playing in D.C. into Landover, Maryland, much closer to Washington, D.C. in Prince George's County. This would be Jack Kent Cooke Memorial Stadium, which later became FedEx Field, easily one of the worst NFL stadiums. Trust me, I grew up going to games there. So what's the lesson here in all this? I mean, Jacksonville, Charlotte, Indianapolis, Cleveland, Baltimore, all had their own NFL franchises by the year 2000. And the Commanders will be moving back to D.C. on the grounds of the old RFK Stadium by around 2030. So all's well that ends well, right? Well, I guess the lesson is that a sports team should not belong to a single billionaire who can move them around like chess pieces. They should belong to the city and the fans. Shout out the Green Bay Packers, the only major American sports franchise that's run properly, if you ask me, because this is their ownership group. And even when cities get teams back, they don't always get their history back. It sickens me to see the Tennessee Titans wearing the Oilers throwback uniforms, which are the best looking NFL uniforms in history. I will fight you on that, but those belong in Houston. Oh, and if you are going to move a team, I guess the real lesson is maybe don't do it illegally in the middle of the night after promising a city that you would not leave, Mr. Irsay. That would make for a pretty good heist film.